Hi, Alisa. Welcome to the Furniture Success Podcast.
Hello, hello. Good to see you, Amit.
Could you tell us about yourself and Atsa, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Myself, I live in California with my wife and kids,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I have one older, one still in high school. I have a stepdaughter that lives in Tahoe,
Mm-hmm.
and two cats, one little black and white cat and one orange cat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I've been in the furniture business for almost 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love designing and building furniture. I am an
Mm-hmm.
artist in my heart and soul, um, and I love to invent ways to solve problems uh, in ways that look good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some people might call that design, but I love art. When we're artists, we get away with certain things. We can be a little bit nerdier, a little bit more interesting, if you ask me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have the same the same standards all the time as
Yeah,
everyone else. Yeah. So,
your creative side, right?
yes, the
It's
creative
always
side,
it's working always in the background, and
it's
it.
always working in the background. For me, it comes out as looking for solutions to problems and
Mm-hmm.
inventing solutions. And then, like I said, inventing solutions in a way that look good. And that is how I got into the furniture business. Now, at first, I was just looking for a solution. And that solution was sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week was um, not good for my either mental or physical health. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time I was experiencing that, I was in a very solid yoga practice and learning to teach yoga. And I said to myself, well, why can't I just bring my yoga practice to my desk? And I immediately figured out that typical office furniture isn't designed to bring your yoga practice to your desk. And so I realized that I would have to. I looked around for some of my ideas that would make it so I could bring my yoga practice to my desk. I looked around on, let's see, so this is 14 years ago or 12 years ago. So there was, basically the internet and Amazon for where I would look for such a thing. And the closest I could get was the balance balls that people were sitting on, and those were all over the office I was already in. And they didn't give me like a surface underneath that would work for me.
Mm-hmm.
What I really needed, what yoga really requires is the floor, the ground, which we rise up off of, and that we can study our vitality in relationship to. And so I started figuring out how to integrate either a raised floor or a lower desk
Mm-hmm.
into office furniture. And it was, I started doing it in my living room with my mom's, let's see, Black and Decker orange and Black and Decker drill, and I had only my high school shop skills to rely on from the 1980s,
Wow.
and I started, and then I got a membership at a makerspace,
Mm-hmm.
and I had access to the miter saw and a table saw and a jigsaw and all these different a router, all these different tools that made new things possible. And I just kept, figuring out how to solve that problem of really needing more movement and the ability to integrate self care, physical, mental self care, into the office space. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have about 125 pieces out and about,
Wow.
and I that's That's been mostly in the last. So there was a lot of discovery time at the beginning,
Hmm.
learning everything. So that's been in the last 6 or 7 years that I put those pieces out.
Wow.
I've learned a lot. I know a lot more, and I want to say that I started from. So I read a book back in the '90s. I think it was called. Oh shoot! It was I. It was. Uh, I think it was called E-Myth, or there was one called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Either way, they taught me that I needed to be
Emit,
prepared. The E-Myth?
like the one like not in the business, on the
Yes,
business.
in the
Okay,
business,
yeah,
on the business. That's right.
yeah.
Um, and it taught me to be prepared. I think that one specifically taught me to be prepared um, with a process that could be repeated over and over again.
Yeah,
So that
automation.
eventually automation, that's right.
Yeah.
So and I like automation. So that's actually become one of the biggest like crises in this business is it's about making space for humans and the needs of the humans in the workplace. And the more we automate things, I mean, it pulls us more into the computer, the sitting setting.
Hmm.
And I really didn't want to automate to the point of needing to just be sitting at a computer running machines all the time. Because then I love building furniture. I love having my hands on it. I love the work. So anyway, so I started from the beginning with a bunch of working on just to design principles and philosophies that I would repeat over and over again to some degree.
Hmm.
And so I have about 6 or 7 models, very similar that I've done that adapt for different things. And I've had very ups and downs in sales, um, and I've learned a lot about pricing and the cost of building furniture the
Hmm.
hard way. Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And
And
yeah, go ahead, please.
like I wonder, like, what does the name represent? Like,
Oh,
also,
thank you for
like,
asking. So oath saw is it's letters put together that are from a sentence that speaks to my purpose in this work, and the sentence that fits with the letters of the title oath saw. The sentence
Mhm.
is Ode to the Human Spirit at Work. That's OTTHSAW. I just got lucky that it has the word saw in it.
Mhm.
And um, and that for me the purpose is to support the human spirit at work, believing that if we're all able to do our best work, that our world will work. And that's a really ambitious thing to try and take on with furniture. I'll tell you what, to try and like use the expression of furniture to make people healthier and make the world a better place. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of times people say, what's with the story? Why not just build furniture? But, there's no reason to build furniture. It's here for me to help people, to help in this situation that I created a solution for.
Mhm.
And it just happened to turn out really like uniquely beautiful. The symmetry and yeah, it just happened to turn out good looking furniture that serves a purpose.
I see. Yeah, and like, what's the most unexpected lesson you learned since starting out? So like unexpected. I mean, like you have
Unexpected.
a mission and vision, to grow your business, and you thought like there was an opportunity, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You did your research, and
uh-huh,
it was open, and the
yeah,
competition was low, and you
uh-huh.
started your own business. And but what was the unexpected lesson
Oh
for you?
boy. Um, it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So what that means is It seems simple. Come up with a really great idea that serves a purpose and it looks good, and everything should be fine. Except I'm in competition with um, furniture builders
Mhm.
that it's made in a way that's much less expensive than the way I do it. Not nobody's doing my design, so I'm not really in competition like that.
Mhm.
But as far as solving some of the problems that I'm trying to solve, I'm in competition with people that resource their products in a way that's different than mine. And so I need to charge enough to for me to survive while doing this, and it's to do that has been a challenge just because the I think the competition. I hope that answers the question. The
Mhm.
surprise is um I guess that you could come up with a really good solution and still have a problem bringing it into existence, that
Mhm.
the world's not just going to open up and pull for it. It still has to be put out there. It's still, people still need time to consider it. Some people come to me and say, I've been planning to buy this for years. And so the sales cycle is so long that what I'm producing in content now may not turn into a sales transaction for years. And
Mhm.
um, that's a thing. And I
Mhm.
was warned about that from Pac, who owns I think it's Icaria Designs and the Soul Seed. He told me about that early
Mhm.
on to expect that, and it turns out people tell me I've been looking at this for years. So something people save up for, and the yeah, that's the surprise. It's harder than I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah. You have a very niche product,
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
what makes you different than your competitors? Like, you have a unique process, as far as I know. Like,
Yes, yes.
so we know each other, like, for almost 4 months, I guess. Like, so
Many,
I
many. Yeah.
reviewed your, yeah, I reviewed your products, and I know, your mission. But what makes you different than others?
Well, the first thing is what I would call my competition is all highly manufactured.
Hmm.
Okay. What I would consider my competition is highly manufactured. Um, this is handcrafted, not to the degree of using like hand saws, but I put every single one of these pieces together. It's
Hmm.
handcrafted and currently handcrafted by me. My son did help me in the past, but um, there's not enough for all of us to be working on it now. It's just me.
Yep.
So there's that. Um, the desks are on wheels if you want them on wheels, so
Hmm.
they can go all over the room, and some of them are short enough to fit under doorways and roll up to the special light that you like for the work that you're doing, and they're highly it's highly high opportunity for accessories, and making it your own. You can see my beautiful little
Hmm.
so um, it's art. That's what I'm going to say. It's art.
Hmm.
It's design. It's not manufactured to the
Hmm.
degree that
Yeah. And
my
it has to
competitors are.
be high-end furniture category, right? Like,
Yeah,
not
well,
low-end. Yeah.
but I never meant to price people out of
Hmm.
the benefits. So that's been a real conflict for me because I really set out to help people in the situation that I was in, which is I was losing my vitality from too many hours at the desk. I really set out to help people. So I'm working on that problem now.
Hmm.
And um, I'm in the middle of working on solving that in a better way now so that I can just focus on this as an art and as a design and there's still so much that I haven't created yet. There's so many
Hmm.
problems I would say I haven't solved yet, which I look forward to. And so I guess I'm in the middle of um, making sure that those two sides are cared for. You know, the purpose that I serve about vitality in the workplace, serving the work that we do. And
Hmm.
then the purpose of I have, this has to work out financially. I have to charge enough to be able to take care of employees and
Sure.
keep a solid shop in you know. And that it's
Hmm.
surprising. That's another surprise how expensive all that is when you start to. I didn't have any business experience coming in. I had to, I'm learning on the fly. There's a lot of expenses that go along with employing people. There's a lot of expenses that go along with having space.
Hmm.
And
Do you have any projects or like products that hold special meaning for you, like
hold special meaning.
in your inventory? Like,
Um, in my inventory, well, this one
yeah.
behind me, this
Hmm.
one specifically is the actual first prototype of this. So it's
Hmm.
the first one I built. There's a video of me building it for the first time. Like
Hmm.
I've been in building things for 12 years, but this one is I think about 9 years old. And
Hmm.
I also have the very first. So is that what you mean by products in my inventory that are
Yeah.
special? I mean, this one
Yeah.
specifically, I also have the very first leaning version in my
Hmm.
house
Do you
upstairs.
do
Yeah.
custom
Oh yeah,
furniture as
absolutely.
well, right? Yeah.
Yes. In fact, this I do custom, and that's the other favorite of this. You can see this one's quite a bit shorter than the
Hmm.
other one, and it doesn't have a top piece on it. So a woman who lived in a houseboat. So this is the thing about doing inviting custom work is I get to learn what people really want and solve
Hmm.
problems from there. So
Yeah.
she lived in a houseboat that had like ceilings that weren't the same all the way across, and she needed it to go at a lower level. And this tall one wasn't going to fit where she needed it to fit in her beautiful houseboat in Sausalito, California. And so I got to redesign it. And when I redesigned it, I realized she wasn't going to want that top piece on it because she has a beautiful view. So
Hmm.
I just got to refigure how it was going to happen. And I love that part. When I actually get a little bit bored doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I love to solve problems. I have to make things shippable too. Like all of this disassembles, reassembles. I use a very, very, very high quality plywood. It's a Europly Plus with a maple veneer. Here, I got a little strip of it right here. You can see
Hmm.
it's very hard wood, and screws can go into it multiple times before any problems, and it can be assembled and reassembled several times before, and then anyways, then there's solutions for that too. But anyways, so
Hmm.
all of this has to go into boxes, which
Hmm.
here's another surprise. Here's another surprise. There's not a box for every size of everything. Okay.
Hmm.
So I didn't start designing with boxes in mind. And so I actually handcraft all the boxes that ship this stuff. And so I've
Wow.
become a box artist as well. Okay. I can put anything in a box now. Imagine shipping, things that tall and it comes apart into pieces.
Hmm.
But having to figure that out has been interesting. And I am quite, that's actually getting it into boxes is the most strenuous part of this work. Surprisingly, there's another surprise for you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And how do most of your customers find you? Like through word of mouth or like
Yeah.
social media or other marketing efforts or
Yeah. So
friends?
it's been, I want to say, um, a good, a good solid percentage of word of mouth.
Hmm.
And then, there's an amazing, mechan, she is a how do you say biomechanics person named
Hmm.
Katie Bowman, who has done amazing work in this field of how to stay healthy and vitality in life, or how to stay healthy and vital in
Hmm.
life. She has promoted my work and I've gotten several customers from her. In addition to that, so I would say it's about 50-50 word of mouth and advertising in Instagram. I've
Mhm.
paid for advertising in Instagram.
Mhm.
And I was
Have
doing
you?
great. And then they changed the algorithms or something, and it really changed after that. And they want a lot more money for it. And that
Mhm.
means I have to charge customers more. And I don't like that. I do not like that.
Yeah. So do you attend like industry shows or events
I've
like?
never been to an industry show or event. It's kind
Mhm.
of on my it would be, I imagine, trying to get all my stuff across the country.
Mhm.
They're usually on the East Coast. If
Mhm.
I well, the ones I'm thinking of that I've seen are on the East Coast. I would love to one of these days.
There is one in Las Vegas.
Oh,
So
is
like,
there? That would
yeah,
be a lot easier.
you, yeah, you can have opportunities like partnering or collaboration opportunities with interior designers, maybe like, and
Oh,
you can expand your network over there. Or
yeah.
there's one in High Point, North Carolina, in New
Uh-huh.
York. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure like you have tons of trade shows or like industry events in California as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I
yeah,
should be on the lookout for
and
that. Yeah.
one more thing, like you can have like you can leverage micro influencers as well. I can share some links with you. There are
Oh, that'd be
some
great.
platforms, and you
Yeah.
can just give them gifts like one of your product, and then they can
Yeah.
promote it for
Yeah.
you. And you
Yeah.
can find some home decor or like interior designer influencers over there, and
Uh-huh.
you could, that, that
I'm
that
open
might
to
help you.
that.
Yeah, especially like it helps a lot until you reach 1.5 million revenue per year, and then you can leverage paid ads later on. But
Okay.
trade
Okay.
shows, collaborations, those
Hmm.
help
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
you to hit seven figure first, and then yeah.
I like how every time I talk to you, you're talking about seven figures, and I'm yeah, that's a big stretch.
Yeah,
It's a big
yeah,
stretch at this point.
yeah,
It's a lot of growth, which I'm open to, as long as it's not hair on fire growth. Okay.
no, no, don't get me wrong. Like, my mentality is like growth mentality all the
Uh
time,
huh. Uh
because like
huh.
I help people grow their business,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
that's why like I always think like, how can grow this business, or like,
Yeah.
how can help them. That's why, because like, but it is not the best way all the time. Like, um in the past, like I was thinking like, hey, you need to grow to survive. But
Uh-huh.
especially after pandemic, like I realized that growth is dangerous as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
so because I witnessed some businesses like they failed because
Uh-huh.
they grew too much,
Too fast. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and too fast.
Uh-huh.
And like, you need to, it means that if you cannot fix your problems in early stage, like operations, sales,
Uh-huh.
uh, you
Uh-huh.
know uh, product development, like those kind of things, like you are scaling your problems as well.
Right.
And
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
market crashed, then
Uh-huh.
you're gonna feel,
Hmm.
because like you have tons of problems and you cannot deal with them. So in shiny day, all is well, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. In the to what you said during the pandemic, there was an enormous rush in sales. There was enormous spike in sales
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
I think it was 4,000, over 4,000% year over year. Had I retooled to make it so that I could sustain that level of
Mhm.
business, I would have crashed at the end because the business did not stick around. That was everybody going home and needing a stand-up desk or needing something that could fit in their space. And
Mhm.
and there was the government was giving us free money to shop with while we were stuck at home. And so there was no way that I was going to sustain that level. And I didn't
Mhm.
know that until afterwards. But I'm glad that I didn't totally retool for that reality because that reality did not stick around. And so
Mhm.
that is why I love growth, and but like you said, you didn't say the inefficiencies will go with me, but my problems with scaling will go with me. And I really have spent a ton of time figuring out the quickest way to do this without machining 100%. I've worked with a CNC. I don't think it would actually save any time versus what I'm doing at this point. It's very hands-on. But there's plenty of people that want hands-on work, that love hands-on work. I love hands-on work. I don't want to give it over to machines. And so I've worked very hard to make a process. If you look back over there, I have a whole, that's all up in that corner is like all my jigs. Those are all that's the jig wall right there. All of that is the things that allow me to create some very specifically over and over again, so that if I make an accessory, a year from now for somebody that bought it a year ago, that I know that accessory is going to fit because it's all tooled the same. So, and to be as quick as possible, I've removed as many inefficiencies as possible, and I still have a bunch of efficiencies that I can put in when I have more space, and I'm excited about that part. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. And always profit first, right? So
Well, that's the goal.
that's the goal, and that's how businesses survive.
Yes, profit first.
Yeah.
And there's been so much change in the last 5 years. Honestly, it's
So I know your story, and it is on your website, and you have a mission and vision as well. Like, that's great. And what role does storytelling play in selling custom handmade furniture for you? Like,
it's a good question. That is a good question. It's so interesting that I'm to mix narrative with utility. Okay, so this is a utilitarian functional, very, very functional. It serves a purpose, and they look good, and there's a fun story. And so I worry that the people that are just looking for function don't want to know about beauty, and they don't want to know about the story. And the people that are looking for beauty don't want to know about function, and they do want to know the story. And I have struggled to create content for both. I just kind of, and I'll continue to work on that. It's so what role does the story play? I'll tell you, I would have thought it was a significant role that story played, but when I looked at my web traffic and how much people actually went to our story on the website, which was a heading at the top, it was so infrequent. And that kind of changed my attitude about how important the story is and what people are looking for. And maybe in person when it's a chit chat and somebody can get a feel of the passion behind my work, that's one thing, but it hasn't, I don't think it's been effective in creating sales as far as I can see. So
I get it. Yeah.
And maybe I just haven't done it right. It's possible I just haven't done it right.
Yeah. It might be misleading you as well, because there are so many things that you need to do for a website traffic, like especially organically, if you are trying to do it organically, like the design, like SEO, and the everything is important, on the website. And maybe like it could be design problem or like SEO problem, you are not driving enough traffic to your, story page.
Well, well, whether I just, it's a good question. It's a good, do I, if I'm
maybe you can go with the social media with, video content about your story, because like people don't read anymore. That's the problem. They just check the images and they like it or they don't like it, and then they decide in 3 seconds, and then they leave the website. Sometimes I feel like, are they bouncing? And then I realize that they're not bouncing. They totally lose their, attention.
Yeah, yeah.
After a couple of seconds, they
They
just
get
check the product and they leave, if they
they
are
get
not
the
interested.
information they
Yeah.
want and they
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
And I've been oh, please go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about, do you have any tips for small business owners on pricing and positioning, in the custom furniture market?
Well, um, actually, the last time you and I talked, you gave me a piece of information that I think is very valuable. Um, and it's, what did you say? I believe you said every 5 sales you can raise the prices. And I didn't
Correct.
do that. I did not do that. I had a hundred sales and didn't raise the prices. Okay.
Yeah.
So, um, you also said you need to be part of that is being prepared to give them good offers once in a while.
Hmm.
And, you know, as motivation, now's the time to shop. Um, so I have been working on actually getting the prices up and just dealing with the consequences of doing that. Every time I
Hmm.
raise the prices, it feels like I need to improve the marketing. I don't know. So I wish I would have followed that from the beginning. I have noticed that the higher the prices, this is not a surprise. The
Hmm.
higher the prices go, the fewer sales I get,
Hmm.
and is where I'm at right now. And that's obvious, supply and demand as intended. But
Hmm.
if I were to drop the prices, I'd have plenty of business, but I'd have no profit. So now that I've gotten so far into it, I don't have the opportunity to do it incrementally like I would have from the beginning. And
Hmm.
I just did a pretty, I would say, what is it, about 10 to 15% price. I've done a couple of 10 to 15% price raises over the last few years, which have really, I wanted to keep some of them under 1,000, and I just can't. And
Yeah, I know.
so, yeah, go ahead.
I know somebody like just doubled the prices,
Yeah,
and then sales went down like 50%,
yeah,
but revenue was same.
yeah,
This is a
uh-huh.
real story, by the way.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
workload is like, 50% off. So you have more time to develop your business or products, and, and making same money. And like, revenue is not the, goal all the time. Like,
Uh-huh.
maybe you should be like revenue oriented until certain point, but I believe like you have to be thinking about the profit first. Then, you can scale your business, because like, um, running a furniture business is not just, making custom furniture. Like, it's beyond that. You should know marketing, you should know
Mhm,
operations,
mhm, mhm,
and some technical, aspects as well. And then taxes, there are
mm,
tons of things that you
mhm,
need to follow
mhm.
up, and shouldn't
Accounting
miss the
and
due dates.
mhm,
Yeah, accounting
mhm,
and everything.
mhm, mhm.
So it is not easy, especially for one man army show.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
absolutely.
easy, and you
Uh-huh.
need time. You should be making profit. Sometimes when I talk to my clients, like, they they think like they're gonna be making more money by cutting their, price. But I am always thinking like, hey, like, it is going to be a mistake. You will be working more, making less, and
Mhm,
what's the point here?
mhm.
Um, yeah.
I think I was selling these for $500 when I first started. $499, and I probably didn't even charge for shipping on top of that at the time. I just wanted to get them out. I needed proof of concept for myself that they would ship fine and pack up fine, and I have proof of concept now. I have a lot of decisions to make and moves to make. Um, I told you I
And
just went through a long personal situation, and I'm
yep.
I'm 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 back to it with losing my mom. and I spent a lot of
Oh,
time just caring for her. Yeah. So I
I,
got off
I,
track.
I'm sorry for your
Thank
loss.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's rough. It's rough. So I'm back. I'm back and I'm figuring out I got to make good decisions this time. No more 4.99. Um, I need to make good decisions this time. Talking to you is really helpful for me. I didn't realize you have so many podcasts out with other furniture builders. And I'd like, or business owners. I will. I look forward to. Um, so this is visual and auditory, right? So I can listen to it or
Correct.
watch it. Is that correct? Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Good for you. So I did see one and I listened to it or watched it. I think I watched it, and I'll check out the rest. I definitely need to um, understand what's working for other people, and to integrate what I need.
Yep.
Yep. Hmm.
And it is surprising, like people think like they're gonna learn someone from like bigger than their business, like no, like I realized that when I started these podcasts, like there are tons of things like consistently changing in furniture world, and everyone can learn from everyone, you know
Yeah.
and you don't need to be successful to be inspired by others, or unsuccessful, like it doesn't matter, just listen, and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
inspired by others, and try to learn,
Yeah.
and there are tons of lessons that in the early stage, because I realized that after 4, 5, 10 years people forget about their passion at the beginning, their vision, and and they
Okay.
they lose their way, and maybe they just need to listen someone at the beginning, and hey, like I was like that, and that's why I started this business, but where am I right now, like they should question themselves. And there are tons of
Mm.
best practices out there, like some people, like they are successful in industry events, some of them like on social media, some of them like they do networking and collaborations a lot. So there is not just one way to be a
Yeah.
successful business owner. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I just want to ask you, what is the biggest challenge in running a small custom furniture business for you? Like you already mentioned challenges, but
Hmm.
what was the biggest, or what is the biggest right now for you?
My biggest, what comes to mind is, who knows if this is the best answer, but I want to say it's consumers' understanding of what things cost to build, because we've been really spoiled with inexpensive things, and if you ask
Yep.
me, okay, and so the perception of the consumer, like I don't that it really to understand what it costs to make a finely attended to piece of furniture, versus the all the parts shipped from overseas and assembled in the United States and shipped, or whatever the
And your labor as well, like
and labor. Oh, what my
yeah.
labor. Yeah, my labor, and that I feel like that's a big challenge, is speaking into when these prices are so high. I'm not just trying to get away with money, I'm not just trying to get some money. I'm very determined to make a sustainable, doesn't have to be, I don't need to be IKEA, but just to build a sustainable business, the costs are intense, the costs are intense. And I don't think that customers who aren't in the realm of the arts, design, furniture, etc., understand. So yeah, is that
Yeah, this
yeah,
this could be like related to your targeting. Maybe
yeah,
you should
yeah.
target high end furniture
Ah,
buyers.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I should.
And
Yes,
yeah,
I should.
with pay that's like there is an opportunity you can, target some high income,
Mm,
zip codes, especially on
yeah,
Google and Facebook. But you can do it with collaborating, with some influencers as well.
yeah.
And if you partner with some interior designers,
Uh-huh.
then that means like you will be reaching out to, because like interior designers for riches, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so like you can easily reach out to uh your right audience, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I would so there's a learning curve there for me. What I
Mhm.
need to understand is what they need from me, and then I have to translate that into how to make the business provide that for them. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? So now
Yeah.
I have to charge enough for them too. And so I have to raise the prices again. And like,
Mhm.
okay. And so um there's that learning curve. I'm just going to need them to be patient with me. That's all. I
Mhm.
do. There is a local office furniture. They handle Santa Barbara County, Monterey County, and San Luis Obispo County, which is a pretty nice area. Yeah, I've been considering whether they might be like collaborating in that way might be helpful, but I have to be ready to pay them, which means do I raise just,
Yeah.
raise the prices before I talk to them so I'm prepared, or talk to them and then raise the prices, and then I'm raising the prices on people that get it through the internet without that middleman. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to charge everybody through that I find through Instagram the same price that I charge if there is a middleman, so to speak, who also needs to get money for what their work is. It's
Mhm.
confusing, Ahmed. How do I, So, and
Yep.
I always tend to come out on the side of keeping it accessible. But like I said, I'm going to let someone else work on that. There are some really great products that
Mhm.
um, can serve lowering the desk needs now, and so I don't have to worry about those customers anymore. I can enjoy this and make art and make beauty. There's still a lot of designs I haven't done yet, and I'm excited. So I'm actually taking a design class at a local college just from the ground up to learn about, because this was just like a fluke that I'm just going to make
Mhm.
furniture, and I turned out to be good at it, but I have no background in design, so I've started taking design classes and art classes again to get fully steeped in that. I'm really enjoying it. I'm doing well. I'm getting an A.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh,
All right, yeah. So, what advice would you give someone who wants to start a
wants to,
handcrafted furniture business today?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Advice? Um, oh, here. This is my, this is what I've relied on. I let my passion and my obsession steer me and drive me in my design philosophy, and what I let my passion and my obsession with doing great work
mhm,
drive me. Okay. And that's the first thing. Number two, sometimes mistakes turn into really beautiful things. And so slow down, enjoy the passion, and don't consider every mistake like a bad thing, because there's a chance it's going to lead you somewhere to make something really beautiful. Yeah. And then solve problems. Solve
mhm.
problems. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, for our listeners, like if they want to reach out to you, how they can reach
They can
out to
reach
you?
me through at Osa on Instagram, or they can
Mhm,
email me
mhm.
at alisa@osa.com. And that's OTTHSAW. Alisa
Right.
at osa.com. Yeah. My first name,
Awesome.com.
Alisa. That'll probably be in your show notes somewhere, all that. My name and Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're gonna put that into
Thank
description.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Elsa. It's nice
Yes,
to
of
see you
course.
again. And we were planning it like maybe 2 months ago, but
Yeah.
sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I really appreciate your time. Always a joy to talk to you and get to talk about this stuff. I come up with
All
new
right.
stuff every time I talk to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elsa.
All right.
See you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.